All right. So I do know it's 5/11. I do know it's Sunday, but we are doing our episode of Saturday Fright Live that we usually do every Saturday for the month of October, next Saturday being our last. And Let Me In was a film that was highly regarded by you and was one of your picks that you wanted to get in. And Kitty's like, you know what? I'm not going to be available. So you guys just do Let Me In and talk about it. So I got to watch it for the first time today. And all right, I'll let you go. I'll let you talk about it because I
Oh,
know you.
no. You start, my friend. You are
Okay.
the fresh one.
Well,
You
look.
just saw it, and I'm dying to hear you.
All right, look. I don't know what to think because it's a movie I watched. I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chloe Moretz does a great job. I guess that wasn't her father. Richard
No,
Jenkins plays the father. What
he's
he's got to
essentially like Frankenstein.
right, what he's got to do for her, and get the blood from the bodies. Some of those scenes were crazy, especially where he gets into the car. The scene where he has to burn his fucking face with the acid
Right.
because he gets caught. And he doesn't want to give up his identity. When she goes to visit him in the hospital, there were some really good scenes. We got Elias Kotis. I don't know if that's how you
Uh,
say his.
yes, he is he's who I wanted to be Commissioner Gordon.
Okay. Yeah, I know him from Casey Jones in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I know him from Chicago PD.
Yeah. So I will always know him. And he'll always be known from me, at least, as Casey Jones. But some of the other characters in this that I didn't even realize were in it because correct me if I'm wrong. Do they ever really focus on Owen's mother's face?
Not really, no.
They don't, right?
Not really.
The way it's filmed when he talks to her, I feel like her face is always out of shot or out of focus.
Mm-hmm.
So I never get to really figure out who the mother is, but it's actually Carabono, who I know from Stranger Things, but also other things. I mean, she's a very attractive woman, very attractive woman, and also the neighbor, the one where he's peeping on her, the where you see her breast. That's actually the wife or the soon to be wife in Hangover,
Yeah.
Sasha Bareilles.
Mm-hmm.
So there were people in here, and of course the one that plays the dickhead in the school, Dylan Minnette. I
Always
know him from other things. So you know, I thought it was going to be scarier. I will say this. I wasn't really scared, but I don't hate the film. I thought it was good. From start to finish, it had my attention. I was barely on my phone, which is always a good thing. I'm telling you, no, seriously, I lose concentration sometimes, even on shows I like. And I'll sit there and I'll get caught up in what I'm doing. I'm like, fuck, I gotta rewind half the shit because I missed it. But no, it had my attention. I do like that it's set in the 80s because you get a lot of 80s classic songs playing in the background. They go to an arcade together. It's funny because it was from 2010, but just it was you didn't feel it because you knew it like it the way it was done. It was I thought it was done very well.
right.
You felt like you were in the 80s. Um but there's not much I really say about it because I thought it was good. I wasn't scared. Did you find this movie scary? I'm just curious.
When I saw it in 2010,
Right.
that was what, 11 years ago?
Yeah.
2010, I was maybe what, 12, 13, maybe.
Okay.
Saw this in theaters with my dad, so maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I look back on it, no, because also mainly I know what the movie is, so it's really hard to be caught off guard.
Yeah.
But I will not hide. I told you, well, till March of next year, this is easily Matt Reeves' best project to me. He wrote it, he adapted it for a screenplay.
Yeah, he adapted it. Yeah,
and directed it. I know a lot of people love Cloverfield. I was never that high on Cloverfield. I never was.
Wait, he was the first Cloverfield in 2008.
That was his.
Okay.
And
Why did I think that was JJ or that was?
No, JJ did the second one with John Goodman.
Oh, he did 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, I think he might have produced it. I think that might be what you're thinking.
Yeah. Oh, it was his production. It was Bad Robot. Yeah. No.
Right, because it even says on the Let Me In trailer, the director of Cloverfield,
okay,
who did Let Me In. But Let Me In for me, I don't know. It was it was a very original take on something where you're never showing the monster. It's from a legit camera's point of view.
Mhm.
It was very fresh. Like there was very few things like it. It was very fresh. I will never negate that. But this movie was just so raw, and that's what I loved about what he's doing with it's just raw. You know what I'm saying? You have someone misguided who falls for someone just as misguided. You know the old trope. Tragedy loves company. So these two essentially fall for each other. And I love the scene where she's like, "Your face, what happened?" And he's just like, just some bullies at school. And she's like, "I'll protect you." And he's like, "But you're a girl." And she's like, "I'm stronger than you think I am." And I'm like, she's way
I
stronger.
was more focused on a couple of other things. I was focused on one, bitch, wipe your fucking mouth before you kiss me. That's number one, because you got blood all over your mouth. You got blood all over your lip. Like you were literally just sucking the blood out of a cop's neck, and then you want to kiss me?
I will tell you this: if at that age, if you have never kissed anyone before, beggars can't be choosers.
And then the other great thing, the best. I would have given a slightly different response. She's in bed with him. She sneaks into bed with him. She's apparently not wearing anything.
Mm-hmm.
He asks her to go steady. And she then also proclaimed, this is the second time she's telling him, "I'm not a girl." And I'd be like, whoa, 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 what? What's going on? What are you talking about? Did I just get tricked? Did I just get fooled? Damn it happened again. No, I was like, what are you talking about? You're not a girl. Like I'm feeling around. But I mean, I obviously understood what she meant by that at that
Right.
point, No, I do agree with you on those aspects. I do. The fact that you never, I do. What did freak me out a little bit, but again, I watched the trailer because I wanted, when you first talked about this, I needed to watch a trailer because I needed to see if I'd never seen it or not.
Right.
The same thing happened. I think we were talking about, was it The Uninvited?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. Which I happen to think is a better film, but I'm not going to get into that. I actually kind of liked, because it was a little bit of a twist with The Uninvited. But I saw it coming though. Remember I told you, because that's the one with the sister, right?
Yeah.
The fire and the sister. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was Elizabeth Banks. Yeah. It was a little bit of a twist where I suspected, but it wasn't confirmed until it happened on screen. So I think that's why I give it maybe the edge up, but they're on the same level. I mean, they're, around the same time too, but so I needed to watch a trailer. So I knew the gist of what was going on. I knew the gist of what Chloe Grace was and whatever. So, but when he's listening on the other end of the wall
Mm-hmm.
and you hear something yelling or berating the father, or even when, no, not even from the wall, like you see a shot where the father, I think, is like sitting on the floor.
Right.
And that's basically where he's telling her, like, I think I'm trying to get caught. I don't want to do this anymore. And the voice is not of a girl's voice. It's not Chloe's voice. So that was a little disturbing. That was freaked me out a little bit, but yeah, I did like those shots, the kills that were off camera, the one where she's crying for help and she kills that guy in the tunnel. There was some, and then of course when she comes and saves Owen from being bullied in the pool, she fucking decapitates the guy's fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
But where was she that she knew what was going on? Because she left town.
I think she was always, when it comes to him, she always kind of keeps an ear to the ground to kind of know what's going on with him, because she loves him essentially, for whatever that's worth. So I think it was one of those just prisoner of circumstance kind of things.
And then the way they ended it, I mean, obviously it's been 10 years or 11 years, so nothing really materialized as far as I know. Mm-hmm. They kind of left it open. He's basically traveling wherever he's going to. I don't know, but he's carrying her in a crate.
Yep. Yeah, I like that Matt left it at that. It's one of those movies no one really speaks on. It's one of those movies no one really remembers, cares about.
I don't think I ever heard of this movie.
Right. So that's why I'm kind of like, to revisit it would mean people would have to remember the first one. And that's just a tall order. So just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let it be what it is. And to me, it was amazing.
Yeah, no, they don't. I agree with you. They don't need to revisit this and or make a sequel. I think it was, especially since the characters that they are now, at the ages that there are now. I liked it better when we got a 12-year-old playing a monster, you know, and befriending another 12-year-old or whatever. I like the innocence of those characters. So to get Chloe playing this character as her at her age now, which I think what she's 42 now, it would be a little it would be a little, you know. So
I'm legit sitting here like,
no, obviously.
I'm like, well, no, that doesn't add up. Like, wait a minute. You had me sitting here like, yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, no, what?
No, I compare this movie to 30 Days of Night. 30 Days of Night is another movie I hold very dear to my heart. I loved, but it's just something no one ever talks about.
Yeah.
So it's like to ever revisit it would mean you would have to either say it's a clean slate that you're revisiting, or you would need people to remember that. But it was just such a brilliant concept where it's dark for 30 days and these essential vampires can just feast. This is their time. No sun ever for 30 days.
30 days without sun.
Right. So it's just the idea of thinking of that is just so fucking brilliant. Because I know a lot of people around the world when that came out thought they were doing that for the movie. So you spoke to people that live in Alaska. And it's like, is that shit real? It's like, yeah. 30 days of day, 30 days of night. And it's just like, what the
I thought it was more than that. Wasn't it isn't it like 6 months of darkness?
No, I think it's only lasts for 30 days.
Oh, okay. I thought they went
wrong. Let me
No, it doesn't matter. It's definitely that. I just for some reason I thought it was even longer. But yeah, dude.
I loved how fresh of a concept that was, and let me into me with something just as fresh. Like I said, I still, again, until March of next year, feel as though this is easily Matt Reeves's.
I definitely think it's better than Cloverfield. I'll tell you that right now. Cloverfield was a different animal. Cloverfield was everything you want to talk about things off camera. I mean, that was pretty much everything was off camera. It was all scares and whatever until finally you see something. But that's only from a camera angle. You know, it was all about angles and stuff like that. And then it
was the tension build.
It was more of a tension build.
You had no idea what they were running from. You knew it was huge.
Yeah.
I had always said if someone took Cloverfield but replaced that with Godzilla, that would be such a fucking fresh take.
Yeah.
Where it's from our point of view.
Yeah.
So like it's not just humans, it's the central idea of Godzilla is just wrecking shit. Right? But you know it's Godzilla. But you never really get to see how the people are trying to escape in real time. Because you always have the camera on the stars of the movie. So of course they're gonna survive, right? So what happens when it's literally being passed between people who are dying on their way to escape? So I always thought that concept was brilliant.
Oh wait, dude, actually, you know what? She was in wait, maybe I'm wrong. No. I think it's another girl. Forget it. No, I thought maybe Sasha Bareilles was also in Cloverfield. She wasn't. It was somebody else.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember that cast that well.
I do. I remember her. It was I'm blanking on her name, but it's not. It's not. I don't think it is. But I agree with you. That's what made Cloverfield. When people praise Cloverfield, that's what they praised it for.
Right.
You know, it definitely wasn't for the shaky cam. I will say that there were a lot of scenes in that film. Like, all right, it would have been a lot better, but I understand why they shot it. He shot it that way. You had to,
right?
Because it's panic,
right? But, and I always say, because I know a lot of people love the last two Planet of the Apes. I personally feel as though in that trilogy, neither one of those two movies hold a candle to the first one.
No, I think the first one was the best.
To me, it was easily the best, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Just seeing the evolution of that, and how much he loves Caesar, and how much it hurt him to try to revive his dad, his memory, and try to keep Caesar out of killing random bystanders on the street because they're messing with the dad. So to me, I loved it. And then when he first spoke,
it was powerful. That was I think I cried a couple of times in that one.
Hell yes.
But I wasn't crazy. I mean, look, I seen all three of them. It's not they were bad. I thought part 2 was probably a little bit better. Part 3 was War of the Apes. What? No,
War for the Planet of the Apes.
War for Planet of the Apes. Yeah,
that was with Woody Harrelson.
I think that was my least favorite.
I agree.
Yeah.
And again, what a lot of people aren't aware of because they don't really make it that known. Matt Reeves did not direct all three. He only directed the last two.
Okay.
That's why the first one feels drastically different.
Yeah.
And everything was during the day. And then for Matt Reeves, everything was at night. That's how Matt Reeves' style is. Let Me In, I swear to God, took place all at night.
There was a couple of shots during the day, but they had to shoot it at night, especially with her because she couldn't come out during the day.
Right. Cloverfield, all at night.
All at night. It was the whole night. It was that one night.
Right.
Yeah.
The Batman, they showed the sun, and the sun even looks like it's at night.
Yeah.
So that's that guy's style, and there's nothing wrong with that. And like you said, those movies weren't bad. It's just I really think we don't give enough credit to that first Planet of the Apes of that trilogy because that was masterfully done. Yeah. To make me cry in a movie of monkeys, monkeys.
Yep.
I didn't even cry for fucking Bambi.
Shit, I kind of want to watch the first Planet of the Apes now. It's been a while,
review, bro. Let's do a review, Joe.
It's been a while. We can do a revisit, but I do want people to, if they're watching, if you guys are watching this, or if anybody gets to watch this at one point, definitely watch this if you haven't, because I think it's worth it. It's cool that I got to, I know this is a revisit for you. This is actually a review for me. This is the first time I watched it, which was today. It's fresh in my mind. Not many movies I can say that came out like a decade or more ago, either hold up or are enjoyable. Most movies, if I didn't see them in their inception when they first came out, I'm not crazy about them. But I'm glad I got to watch this, and for what it's worth, I enjoyed it. I just thought I was going to be a little bit more scared than I shouldn't even say more scared because I wasn't. But
I wish you had asked me. I would have told you that's the one thing I didn't think you would experience. If you were going to experience that, it would have been in the theaters.
Okay.
Where the sound was very loud and you can kind of build on the suspense. It's what I always tell anyone who watches Dr. Sleep now for the first time. Great movie, not to be taken away. But it's not scary watching it at home. I watched that shit in Dolby where the sound, so that scene where you see that nasty thing in the tub, but you kept hearing the stomping or the banging, whatever it was, leading into him walking in.
Yeah.
That was terrifying in the theater. At home, you're kind of just creeped out like the rest of us were.
Yeah, I didn't get to see Dr. Sleep in the theater. I watched that first as soon as it came out on July. I bought it. I couldn't wait to, dude. Honestly, I couldn't wait. Unfortunately, my ex-girlfriend doesn't like horror films. So anytime a horror film came out or a movie of that nature came out, I couldn't go to the movies because I don't really have friends that have my same schedule, whatever. I did get to see Halloween 2018, but that's besides the point. But I remember when Dr. Sleep got out, or came out, I should say, I never got a chance to go. So as soon as it came out, I seen it. And again, it was another movie where I watched it. I enjoyed it. I liked it, especially because it's part of the whole Shining universe. I love the original Shining. It was good, but I can understand what you're saying. If you don't watch certain movies in theaters, especially that, it could lose
that effect.
Yeah, definitely. I can see why if I would have seen this in theaters when it came out. I would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah, maybe not drastically different, but maybe just a little bit. But again, I get it was a horror movie, but I never felt like this movie was that.
Yeah.
I felt like he was just building on such a really good story with horror aspects.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't take it as a horror film. I took it more, like a thriller or suspense, whatever. But
exactly. Right.
And that's how I went into this thinking, from seeing the trailer, from getting the gist and the, a quick concept of what I was going to get. Watching the trailer, I kind of figured out what it was. But yeah, no, dude, like I said, it was entertaining, start to finish. I do like the relationship between Owen and Abby. I think that's the best part. Obviously, the best part. I mean, that's the movie,
right?
And then all these little things that happen to Owen, and like I said, she sticks up for him. They get this bond. Even when he fucking, like, I'm like, dude, no, you did not just cut your fucking finger. No, why would you do that? He's like, oh, I'm going to take you to a secluded spot and I'm going to do a blood pact with you to a vampire. But he doesn't know that, obviously.
I was about to say, he didn't know that at the time. I don't think he would have been as eager to.
Yeah.
And
then she's just like, he's like, oh, and she's just like licking that shit off the fucking floor. And then she's basically saying, like, get away from me.
Right.
And then she runs away from him because understandably so, she can kill him. She's got to have some type of willpower, but Yeah. Yeah, no, really, really good. You know, oh, the other cool scene too was when because I was wondering what was going to happen with the girl, the one, the neighbor, where she bites in the neck because
Mhm.
she's got to get that anger out because she just ate Owen's blood, so she attacks the neighbor with the dog, and she gets bit. So I'm like, wait, is she gonna fucking turn? And she ends up turning. She's fucking eating her own blood,
Right.
and then the nurse comes in, peels apart the fucking shades or the blinds or whatever, and she just burns to. She
Yep.
not only catches fire, but she also burns the nurse.
I do want to say, outside of Dracula Untold, this is probably the best vampire movie in fucking forever. Outside of this and Dracula, vampire movies are such a dime a dozen, man.
Yeah.
It's so hard to do. It's just like when Joel was telling me he felt as though we've gotten too many werewolf movies, and I'm like, bro,
No,
I only remember fucking damn, with Anthony Hopkins. I only remember that movie as
which
far as
one was
werewolf movies with Benicio del Toro,
Oh, okay.
Wolfman.
Yeah.
I'm like, I swear to you, Joe, outside of Twilight, I don't recall many vampire or werewolf movies. And I think that fucking movie tainted the entire industry for those two characters of vampires and werewolves. So I'm like, people stepped away from that shit for a while.
Well, before that was what do you call it? This one fucking. Oh, come on. I can't fucking remember the name. Come on. There was like 5 of them. There was like 4 of them. With Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you had that. You got the vampire, you got the lichens, you got the, so there was a battle between that. So you had that, and then Twilight did their version, where they sparkle. Oh, did you see this shit? I don't want to get too far ahead because we are talking about Twilight, Robert Pattinson. Obviously, we talked about Batman before because of Matt Reeves. You heard about this shit? But they're trying to get Kristen Stewart. I think she said, "Oh, I'm flattered," but no. Trying to get her to play the Joker.
Right. She said she's more so an original person. So
Yeah, I'm
you'd rather you
flattered.
make someone original for her.
Yeah, we don't need to make just because what's his face? Come on.
Robert?
Yeah, but what was his name in Twilight?
Edward.
Edward. Just because Edward is Batman doesn't mean you need to make Bella Joker.
No. Doesn't mean you need to have Kristen in anything that Robert's in.
Yeah.
Vice versa. I mean,
hey, we should, what we should do? We should make a female Joker. Oh, well, so look, Harley Quinn?
Look, well, essentially, yes. But if you did want to make a female Joker, I have no problem with that. I just don't need it to be her.
No, it doesn't have to. Just because it's Edward.
I don't need the connectivity of. Well, they did one franchise together, so it'd be like if Mark Hamill said, "All right, I'm about to do the voiceover work for Joker."
Yeah.
Because God rest his soul, Carrie. I did work with Carrie. I'm gonna have her be my Harley Quinn, and it's like, well, no, that does. Why? Yeah. And then I'm gonna bring Harrison in. He's our Batman, and you know what I'm saying. The guy who did Chewie, I'm gonna bring him in. He'll be Gordon. But he doesn't talk. He just howls. It's like, bro, no, you don't need to connect everything like that.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
Matt Reeves find something for her that works. By all means, have your fun. You can be Poison Ivy if she wants, but I don't need her in anything Robert Pattinson's in.
Well, I will say this. I think if you watch Midnight Mass, you're going to enjoy it. So I think you need to watch Midnight Mass now.
I got you. That's
I'm gonna tell you that right now because and that's another thing I do want to do a review for. How many episodes were there? Were like 7, I think.
Let me see.
I think there's only 7 episodes of Midnight Mass.
You might hear some noise. Okay, there we go. Turn that off. All right, it's a little infomercial craps that they always do. What is it called? Midnight.
Yeah, Midnight Mass.
In Georgia. Midnight Run? Is that what we're talking about?
Midnight Mass.
Okay. Let's see. It is.
Should be 7 episodes.
Let's see. 1, 2, 6. Yep, 7.
Okay. Yeah. So they're about an hour long. So it would definitely take a day, a good day to get that done. I think Kitty's doing a rewatch because she wants to rewatch them. I've watched the series twice. So, yeah, I will talk about that, and I think that'll be cool. And I think the next Saturday Friday Live, I think that's Hellraiser, right? Didn't we just push it back and say
I wasn't sure. I thought Kitty said if we wanted to re-vote on that, we could.
maybe we will. Maybe we'll revote.
Because it's the last one, so it's
Yeah.
like
You really want to do that on Hellraiser. Yeah. I got you. I'm with you on that. All right. Well, look. Again, Let Me In, definitely worth the watch. I don't know what to score this. Let me see what you score it. What do you?
But
What
I
would you?
score Let Me In. Let
Yeah.
Me In will always sit at an 8.5. Sorry, I was gonna say 8.5, but 8.5. It always sit at 8.5.
All right. So I'll give it a 7 then. I think it's it's a good score. I'll give it a 7. Because I did enjoy it. I did. I think
I do
7's
want
good.
to stress this movie may not be for everyone, and if it's not a problem. I hold this movie dear. I will always hold this movie dear. I will always spread its praises. But if it's not for you, by all means, I don't want to hear, Juwan, I hated it so much. Why would you?
Yeah, I see. And then
Enjoyed it.
yeah.
But if you, our audience, does not enjoy it, no problem.
And I don't think anybody would give that reaction, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody would hate this film. Look, again, it's been out there for 11 years, so I'm sure people have seen it. I don't know. I guess maybe I was under a rock.
I really don't think so, bro. I really don't think it's.
Was it not promoted a lot? Was it not?
It was one of those. Okay, I always say this, and then I'm gonna shut up. I always say this. I always say we ask for original movies, right? We always say stop doing remakes, don't do reboots. We've seen it. Give us something fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
They give us something fresh, and people don't see Let Me In, but they see, guess what? Fucking Twilight. So Let Me In kind of gets left in that shuffle of people who kind of feel Twilight has kind of made me not really be interested in vampires, right? And then you get Let Me In, no one really sees it, Or if people see it, I can tell you now, 11 years later, people don't remember it.
Yeah.
It was one of those indie films that kind of came in, kind of came out, was kind of left as is. I think if people went down the list of things Matt Reeves has been a part of, they'd probably forget this more so than remember that this was part of that cluster in between Cloverfield and Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Let Me In sat there. So that's why I say I don't think you're not alone. I can almost guarantee you if I went to Twitter now and asked people about it, they would go, I don't know what that is.
And it's funny because this was around the time where I was going to the movies a lot. I used to go to the movies anytime, whether it was by myself or whatever it was, didn't matter. I was always going to the movies. I always made it out. I was off on the Fridays. It always turned out where I was off when movies came out, or I worked earlier shifts so I can watch it after after I work. So I was always in the movies. So it is a little weird that I didn't. I mean, I might have. It was 11 years ago. I might have heard about it.
It might have went under the radar. I mean, look, Live, Die, Repeat. That movie went under the radar.
I did not see that in the theaters. And I told you, I hold that movie high.
Very high. So I'm saying this could honestly just be one of those movies that were lost in the shuffle. I'm sure there might have been a big movie that came out that week. Maybe you saw that, and this kind of just got lost in the shuffle. Well, but me and my dad, we look for movies like this because we are fans of originality.
Are you still on IMDb?
Am I still on there? Yeah.
Yeah. When did this come out?
Let me see. I can give you the exact date. Nope. Why are you on here? Let's see. All right. Let's see. Let Me In. Yep, 2010.
No, I know. What month? Like what month and day? October. No. Opening weekend, U.S. and Canada, October 3rd. So it came out in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, October 1st, right here.
Okay.
October 1st, 2010. Yeah, I mean, do I know what I was doing October in 2010? No, but I mean, Inception came out that summer. That was my favorite movie of that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird that I missed it.
All right. That's why I said it's very possible that it just went under the radar. Again, this is not a movie that I would ever say is one of the greatest horror movies or suspense movies of all time.
Yeah,
it's a dear favorite of mine.
No, and it was good.
To me, I crave originality. It's why I love Dune. But but I'm also those people that go out and support these movies rather than saying I want originality, then see original and then kind of just go, I'll just go see Fast 17 instead. And it's
Oh,
like,
God.
well, then that's why you have 17 Fast movies and none of original movies, because you don't go and see it, people.
Well, I do want to piggyback on that notion really quick, and then we'll wrap up. But there is one other stream that I am really excited about doing. You know, I came up with the idea a few days ago. I even made a thumbnail. I have everything all set. I even have my top 5 already picked and set. I don't even think it's going to change. It might. I don't know. We'll see. I have OCD. Sometimes things change. But for those of you at home watching, I am trying to come up with and coordinate, because I do want a good amount of people to participate in this one. Top 5 sequels that were better than the original. And my way of going with my picks, I'm not saying I would hope everybody's going to do it this way, but I just think it makes it easier, because there are always going to be movies in franchises that we're going to enjoy more than the original. I mean, let's be honest. If you want to take the Halloween franchise, if you want to take even, I mean, I know you don't like Rocky, but even the Rocky franchise, and I use that as a perfect example. Rocky 4 comes out next month, which I can't wait. The director's cut, but Rocky 4 is one of my favorite movies, not just in the franchise of Rocky, but one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, but I know for a fact that I would be smoking crack to tell you that it is better than the original Rocky. I know it's not. That is why it will not make my list. So what I try to do is I try to be very, very realistic in saying, okay, wait a minute. I think for the most part, and then some of these might be subjective. I'm not saying everybody feels this way, but I think for the most part, the ones I picked are more factual than they are subjective. If that makes any sense. Trying to be realistic in the picks. You know, as much as I would love to say, which I wouldn't, but let's just say Fast 5, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fast 5 is a popular one because, you know, it was I think the first appearance of Hobbs, which is the Rock's character, you know, in the Fast trilogy. I mean, in the Fast franchise.
Yep.
And I think after that just went. Even Fast 5 was crazy. It was ridiculous. But you know, after that, it just
Fast 5
went.
to me is the best.
Yeah.
Because it did something I could have never expected that franchise to do. It blended action and adventure with racing.
Right, but if you take the reason why now, and I'm with you, I tend to like Fast 5 the best.
Right.
I do. Even the fourth one wasn't bad because it came back. The reason why I like the fourth one, it was because it came back to the original characters. It was right after Tokyo Drift. You know, it was more, you know, here's the main characters again, and it's back to racing. Fourth one I can appreciate, but the fifth one I liked, especially because of the Rock's character. But it was also over the top. It was. The first one, you get down and you actually watch the original. That one is, in my eyes, the better film because it was just about racing. You know, it wasn't. I mean, now they're like superheroes. Now what they're up to in that franchise, they're doing shit that, I mean, they're going to be in space soon.
Right.
But when you watch the first one and how grounded it is, it's about illegal racing. You know, it's a cop going undercover. I can appreciate that. So that's why, again, you might pick Fast 5, and I hope I didn't just spoil your pick. But you know, there are other. I think if you're going by that, even though as much as I love Fast 5, I think the original Fast and Furious is the best.
Oof. Ugh.
I do.
Oof. It is
I do.
such a tough watch to go back and watch those movies. I've done it. I've done it with the release of the newest one.
Yeah.
Marathon of it. I went back and watched them all, and I'm just like, Tokyo Drift, garbage. First one, garbage. 4,
What?
garbage.
Wow.
5, cream of the crop. 2, the only thing that made 2 so special is when he said, "My pockets ain't never empty," cuz it was just like, why did you guys let Paul Walker say that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't like 2 only because it got rid of most of the main cast. Yeah, it just had Paul Walker and Tyrese was in that one.
I think there were issues with Vin and
yeah. So I was just like, all right. And then obviously Tokyo Drift had no one except for the cameo that Vin Diesel makes in the end of the end, like the end credits or whatever it was. But
Man.
all right. So be on the lookout for that. That is something that, you know, and Joanne, if you can get if you want to maybe pass that on to, you know, people like
Sure.
Joel and even JD if he wants to come on, and Pete, anybody that wants to come on and participate
Let me
in
know the
that
day,
stream.
and I'll get a bunch of people. Just let me know the day.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. But all right, that being said, we're gonna end this stream. It was a great for you to revisit and a great way for me to express how this movie made me feel for the first time today. Definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it yet. Hopefully you did, because if you didn't, we were just basically talking about the whole film. All right, and then tomorrow we're going to be doing Monday morning quarterback. Hopefully, Juwan, you'll be there. Start out 11 o'clock in the morning, and for that's it for the most part. But Juwan, your stuff, I believe I have your info in the link.
Okay, perfect.
I'll double check, but if guys check out the description of this video, Juwan's link to his YouTube channel should be in there. So obviously, always go check him out. Show some love over there. Smash that like button if you can. Subscribe to us, or me, I should say, or both of us. Subscribe to both of us. But that being said, enjoy the rest of your night, Juwan, and I will see you soon, dude.
Absolutely, brother.
All right. Have a good night.